Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something deeply personal. We are looking at the intense, lingering pain of betrayal. You know, that specific kind of hurt that cuts incredibly deep because it usually comes from someone you trusted. It is completely natural to want justice when you've been wronged, so we're going to explore 3 biblical signs that God is actually handling that heartbreak for you, and how stepping back might just be your truest path to inner peace. So I have to ask, are you waiting for justice right now? Betrayal leaves a mark, doesn't it? It's so exhausting to carry that desire for personal revenge, just waiting and waiting for the person who hurt you to finally face the consequences. But holding onto that resentment, it's really just a barrier to your own healing. It doesn't actually hurt them, it just holds you back. That brings us to a beautiful promise in Psalm 10, verse 14. It says, "But you do see, for you note mischief and vexation, that you may take it into your hands." What a comforting thought, right? God is absolutely not blind to your suffering. He sees exactly what happened, and shifting our focus away from trying to get even and toward his divine vindication, well, that's where the real healing process begins. The promise of divine vindication, leaving justice in his hands. Romans 12:19 puts it perfectly. "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, 'It is mine to avenge. I will repay,' says the Lord." Listen, obsessing over how someone is going to be punished is just going to poison your own heart. Stepping down as the judge gives you freedom. When you leave room for God's righteous judgment, you're finally letting him go to work on your behalf. An unsettled conscience, the invisible turmoil. Okay, so let's dive right into this first sign. It's a truly fascinating contrast. On the outside, the person who hurt you might be smiling, right? But internally, they are carrying this massive burden. Sleepless nights, sudden anxiety, a totally restless soul. It's a silent chaos. And while they are dealing with that invisible turmoil, God is actively, gently lifting the emotional weight off your shoulders, a weight you were literally never meant to carry. This is exactly what Romans 2:15 is talking about when it says, "Their conscience also bears witness." Even if they hide it behind the perfectly curated life, an unconfessed wrong creates this inescapable internal conviction. Think about King David from the scriptures. Keeping silent about his wrongs literally ate away at him. God doesn't just let them off the hook. He brings a heavy internal awakening to what they've done. Sign 2, the truth is exposed, bringing darkness to light. Now, manipulators can only wear their masks for so long. They might try to hide behind secret lies, double lives, and ongoing manipulation. But counteracting all of that is your divine defense. God steps in to fight for your reputation and restore your honor. And here's the crucial takeaway. God pulls back the curtain on deceit not just to humble the proud, but to clear your name entirely without you ever having to lift a finger to fight. Just look at Luke 8:17. "For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light." You know what this means for you? It means you absolutely do not need to shout your side of the story from the rooftops. You don't have to go around trying to convince mutual friends of your innocence, because ultimately, God is the absolute best narrator for your vindication. The truth always, always surfaces. Sign 3, pain becomes promotion, the divine setup. What's really incredible about this next sign is how God completely flips the script. Their intention might have been to hold you back, steal your joy, or totally derail your purpose. But God's intention, it's to take that exact trap meant to destroy you and use it to push you into a season of favor, incredible strength, and divine elevation. He never wastes your pain. He uses that betrayal as a catalyst to build your resilience and bless you right in front of your enemies. It reminds me of Joseph's story in the Bible. Genesis 50:20 says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done." Think about it. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and left for dead. It was an agonizing setback, but it was actually a divine setup. That very pain was the exact path to a monumental promotion that ended up saving nations. Your setback is a setup too. Embracing your inner peace, the journey to healing. So let's move to our final focus, your own healing. You know, even Jesus modeled emotional honesty and the need to occasionally just step away. Slowing down in quiet moments is absolutely crucial for letting your nervous system recover from the trauma of betrayal. Whether that's going for a walk in nature, sitting quietly, journaling honestly about how much it hurts, taking a hard break from toxic environments, or just focusing on building emotionally safe relationships, you have to give yourself the space to heal. It's a gentle, ongoing process. Step 1 is keeping that spiritual wound clean of bitterness, actively tending to it so an infection of anger doesn't take root. Step 2 is allowing for progressive, ongoing forgiveness. It takes time, right? You might just have to forgive in segments, and that is perfectly okay. And step 3 is resting completely in God's divine peace, simply letting go of the heavy lifting. Isaiah 26:3 offers this beautiful assurance. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Because here's the secret. The greatest evidence of God's justice in your life isn't necessarily getting to watch the other person fail. Honestly, it's that moment when a perfect, unexplainable peace finally returns to your heart. It's realizing you can breathe easily again, even if you never, ever got an apology. So what does this all mean for you today? It comes down to one vital question. Will you release your pain and let God write your restoration story? When you finally let go of that grip on personal justice, it frees you up to step into your true, beautiful purpose. I really hope this explainer brought you some comfort today. Are you ready to let go of the past and trust God completely with your healed future?